everyone, it's Justine and welcome to my video tutorial. Today I'm a part of a blog hop that features the So Susie Stamps design team, which I'm on, and the Die-namites design team, which makes die cuts, and we decided to exchange some products and see what we can create with both companies' dies and stamps. So if you go to the link in the video description below, you'll be headed to the blog hop where there's a chance to win prizes, as well as you'll be able to check out all the different products that everybody had created, cards and things like that. So I'm going to start off by taking the Die-namites die called Wedding Doves. This is a perfect die for anniversary and wedding type cards because it shows two doves holding two rings together that are attached. It's a really pretty die and it has some really fun details in it. So what's really great I found about Die-namite dies, and this is my first experience using them, is the fact that they're not just die cutouts, but they actually emboss some lines in them and make them a lot more realistic than your standard dies. So it was really fun using them. Now the way I set up my die to be cut was I used my precision plate as well as my magnetic board on my Big Shot. I just wanted to make sure that I had an extra shim in there to make sure those details really popped out, but I'm sure you can cut these out with absolutely no issues since they're not super intricate just by using your standard cutting plates. Now you can see here I'm going to be checking out or adding this piece of patterned paper to my project. So my card base measures 11 by 4 1/4. My patterned paper measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to be sticking these doves somewhere on here, but I have to make sure that I have enough room for the sentiment as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment onto my card, and I am going to be embossing that sentiment in silver. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be not only stamping my sentiment, but I'm also going to be adding some Versamark and embossing powder to those rings on the dove so that they really stick out. So I'm just going to place my patterned paper as well as my doves onto the card to kind of get some placement idea of where I want to put this. So I decided to stick my doves towards the top and the You Are My Forever and Ever stamp from So Susie Stamps underneath that and away from the patterned part of the paper so that it's actually able to really stand out on its own instead of being sort of lost in the patterned paper. In order to stamp with my Misty, I am actually, using the mini Misty here. It's brand new, and it's super exciting. I'm going to be stamping this onto my Misty, and I don't need the black foam because this is a cling stamp, so you only need the black foam with clear stamps. I'm going to be inking this up with Versamark ink and stamping it onto the patterned paper. As you noticed, I had the doves already placed on there, so I have perfect placement. My sentiment is all lined up according to the grid lines, and it's all nice and straight, and it's all ready for some embossing powder. Now for time purposes, I'm just going to speed you up slightly here on the video. I'm going to just add some of that Versamark ink, just tapping it onto those two rings. I'm not really worried about getting sort of excess Versamark on there because I can just take a dry paintbrush after and wipe off any embossing powder I don't want on there. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper so I'm quickly and easily able to clean up my silver embossing powder mess. I'm going to add this to my doves as well as to the patterned paper on the sentiment. So you can see I'm just using a dry brush to wipe away any excess that was there. I forgot to use my embossing bag, so I had a couple of little strays there. Alright, just cleaning up my mess here, and I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss that. I personally love silver and gold embossing powder. I think it really just makes the best look for embossing and shows the technique off the most by getting that shine in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so I'm just going to attach my patterned paper here to my card base and stick it on there. I haven't folded my actual card just yet. You could fold it right now, it wouldn't make a difference at all. So now it's time to attach the birds. Now what's really important here is I'm actually only going to add glue to the bottom of the birds here because I want the wings to actually lift up and look like they're flying. And so I want them to create sort of a 3D appearance. So I have the birds on here and I'm just going to fold up their wings. Now of course if you're sending this through the mail, you might want to skip this step because it's probably useless for you anyway. Now if the birds look slightly different or glued on slightly differently than before, it's because I had to go back in and redo this unfortunately, because as I was adding some Wink of Stella glitter, I honestly had some Distress ink on there and it came out pink as I was trying to add my sparkle. So I'm just going to add some sparkle here. Unfortunately in the photographs it's really hard to pick up Wink of Stella, so you don't actually see the effect that this is having, but I'm going to hold it up to the light there so you can see all the exciting sparkle that's going on this card. I personally think that Wink of Stella is one of the best things to use to really just finish off a card and add a little bit of sparkle and shine without it being too much. It's one of my favorite techniques. So I am just going to fold up my card base here, and that will be the end of the card. I'm just going to hold it up to the light here, and maybe you can see a bit of the sparkle, I'm hoping anyway, that is on this card. You can see it on the wings and on the flowers there that are there. So one final look at the card. I hope you enjoyed this card tutorial. All the supplies used are linked to below in the video description or on my blog. You can access that below in the video description or up at the top here on click here. Over on the right, there's a subscribe button where you subscribe to my channel. And if you click on the photo, you can check out a video tutorial on how to make that really cute Eiffel Tower card featuring So Susie stamps. See you tomorrow for part 2 of the blog hop. Don't forget to check it out on my blog. Thanks for watching.